Get ready to laugh until you can't laugh no more. We have a special guest here in the studio.
His name is Aries Spears. You may know him from Mad TV or recognize his voice from Impressions, even guest starring on The Proud Family. He's in town this weekend at the Funny Bone. So before he highlights a couple shows, I want to catch up with him on Rooted in Progress. Starts right now.
Come on in. We are here. We didn't start off with the wide shot like we normally do, folks. We're having some little technical issues with that camera, but it doesn't stop us from coming to you again of another episode of Rooted in Progress.
Listen, it's Friday.
Yes.
It's not even our normal day.
It's Friday. It is Friday. Man, we couldn't help but just hold off the show for one more day because of the special guest that we have in town. And not just in town, but here in our studios, Naisha. Yes. Oh, first off, I'm your host, Terrence Middlebrooks, for those who are tuning in for the first time.
And I am Naisha Harper, filling in for Deanne Key.
Yeah. I'm excited to bring this guest on, man. You've seen him for years, decades, man. The guy's been around. He's a legend in the comedy world, stand-up comedy. And if you don't follow him and just check out who he is, then, man, you're behind. So without further ado, let's bring him on in,
yes. Mr. Aries Spears.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
In the building, man. Welcome, man.
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you feeling, man? I know you just got in a couple hours ago. Other than tired,
it's Florida, man. So
yes,
I can acclimate pretty quickly.
That's good, man. Yeah. Where you coming in from, man?
L.A.
Okay, L.A.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you got off the plane, and it's probably temperature-wise, climate-wise, is about the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a little bit more humid, but for the most part, it's beautiful.
It is
365.
Yeah, man. Well, you're welcome to Tampa any and every time.
Well, I've been here for 365 times 4, and I still can't get used to this humidity.
Yes.
I'm from California.
Yeah.
Oh, where in California?
San Diego.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love Diego's nice.
Yeah.
Now you travel quite a bit, man. But before we dive into the purpose of why you're here, let's tell us a little bit about you, man. You've been around the game a long time, an OG comedian. Do you consider yourself that, or as the young folks say, are you an unk in the comedy world right now?
I get both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I take it as a compliment.
The unk.
Either one.
I'm struggling with
OG,
that, bro.
unk. It means you're a veteran. You've earned your stripes.
Okay.
So I got a few Purple Hearts.
There you go.
Know what I mean?
I like that.
I take it, man. It's all love.
It is, man.
Yeah.
It is. I had a young dude walk up to me a couple weeks ago, man. I was sitting there watching the game with one of my homies, and hey, Unc, man, can I spit some game to you? And I was like, whoa. Pause for a second, homie. It's just something about that word, Unc, man. It just made me.
Well, first of all, you use pause in the wrong circumstance.
Well,
that wasn't a pause moment.
You're right.
And secondly,
but
more importantly, when he said, "Can I spit some game to you?" It's like that's supposed to be the other way around.
Well, can you spit some game to me? Whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
But he just
okay.
he hit me with the Unc, and that just kind of paused. Excuse me. That just kind of made me stop.
I don't take that as a slight in any way.
Okay.
If anything, I think it's a respect factor.
Yeah.
Because
right.
they know that you the elder, and they say it to you, and it's all about the delivery. So when they deliver it to you, if it's got that love in it, you know where it comes from.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, man, tell us a little bit about your background, man. Where you from?
New York.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, right?
No, Manhattan.
Oh.
Yeah. New York. Grew up in New York and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Started doing stand-up when I was 14, Def Comedy Jam by 16, Showtime at the Apollo at 17, and then moved out to LA in 93 and got on Mad TV at 22, did 8 years on that, and then here I am.
Yeah. Well, at 16, man, like when did you realize this is something that you want to do? Were you one of those kids coming up in the classroom that got a call from the teacher?
I don't like to call it class clown. I call it class comedian, because a clown will do anything for a laugh.
Class entertainment.
A comedian is specific.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, but yeah, man, I mean, I started at 14 because I kind of knew that I always wanted to be in entertainment.
Really?
My mother's a jazz and blues singer, so I grew up in the house listening to a lot of, you know, John Coltrane and Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk,
Right.
and some of the greats.
classics.
So, you know, being in a house so heavily musically influenced, you know, she had the creative bug. So that naturally kind of spread to me. And then my father, who was always kind of like very entertaining, life of the party, and he was a film buff. So I saw a lot of the great classics like Gone with the Wind, Miracle on 34th Street, Let's Do It Again, Uptown Saturday Night, Across from 110th Street.
Wow.
Everything from the blaxploitations to the classics. So that was kind of like my library that I would study in terms of performing and wanting to be creative.
That's great, man. That's great. So, like, when did you realize that you were funny? Like, was it because
Probably like at, you know, 6, 7 years
Yeah?
old. Yeah.
Can you
'cause,
tell us
know,
about that?
Well, you know listen, I grew up in the 80s, so a lot of the stuff that we now know and enjoy in terms of our technology I was there for the birth of it. So, you know, when my father got the first video recorder, it was like, you know, the kind you would see on the news.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
in
my
the
dad
streets.
had one of those.
It's a
Yep.
big joint, and it came with a VCR
A little
and a pack
recorder.
that you had to.
Yep.
Yeah, so when he brought that home, he just started recording me and my sister wilding out at the crib.
Bro, you
know what I mean?
grew up in a kind of a wealthy household. 'Cause those things wasn't cheap.
No.
They were not cheap back in the day.
Well, you know, my father spent his money selfishly.
Yeah.
You know, if he did things that he wanted to do that was best for him. So, you know, by no means were we the Huxtables, but we weren't the Evans either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
we were
funny.
kind of like in the middle a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, my father enjoyed his toys. So,
great.
you know, and I'm glad for it because
Right.
it kind of gave me the platform that I needed to grow into who I wanted to become.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
Did you have any early inspirations? Anyone you looked up to?
You know,
mentored after?
you know, Eddie Murphy was king in the 80s.
Yeah.
And before the explosion of Def Jam, you know, Hollywood only really allowed one big black star per decade. You know, you kind of had Dick Gregory in the 60s, Richard Pryor in the 70s, Eddie Murphy in the 80s. And then by the 90s, Def Jam exploded and introduced America to a whole horde of
Yeah.
black talent that's always been out there. We just never was able to have the opportunity to shine like the white boys do.
Right. Now, when you came, let's talk about 16, Def Jam at 16.
Yeah.
I mean, with you being in New York, like how easy or was it easy to get on stage at Def Comedy Jam? Because at one point it was something like an amateur night there in like most open spots are. I mean, there was no reels. Nobody couldn't scroll on social media and like, oh, this dude's funny. Let's invite him.
Well, I mean, first of all, the history of Def Jam, it's like, yeah, you know, when you look at the credits, of course, Russell Simmons,
Yep.
you know, Russell Simmons presents Def Comedy Jam. So you look at the big name like Russell Simmons or Stan Lathan, who directed, but if it wasn't for a guy named Bob Sumner, who actually was the brainchild behind Def Jam, and Bob, you know, back in the day, famous clubs in New Jersey like the Peppermint Lounge in Newark, New Jersey, Terminal D in Newark, Club 88. Those were the stomping grounds for guys like myself, Bill Bellamy, who I go way back with, Hamburger Jones, Derek Fox. So actually, it was Bob that took the idea to Russell and said, look, man, I know all these black comedians in the tri-state area that are very talented that
Right.
need a platform. And, you know, of course, Russell put his name to it. And with his power and influence, and along with Stan Lathan, they brought it to HBO, and the rest is history.
It is.
But there would have been no Def Jam without Bob Sumner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when they launched. I mean, I was probably in elementary school. Couldn't stay up that late to watch Def Comedy Jam. But my brother, I had an older brother that would watch it, and I would go in and sneak in and just kind of watch
Yeah,
it.
I didn't even get on Def Jam the first season. I got on the second season.
So what other spots opened that up? Because you're a young 16 kid.
Yeah.
Who would take a chance on that? You know,
I mean, you know, Bob. I was with Bob from day one.
Okay.
You know, like I said, the clubs that was popping in New Jersey, Terminal D, Club 88, and East Orange, the Peppermint Lounge. I would go there. My mother, of course, had to escort me to the venues because I couldn't go by myself. There's alcohol.
Right.
So she would literally like take me there. They put me like in a green room that was like a broom closet for me, and I'd have to wait there until I was called on stage, do my thing, and then I had to be out. I couldn't hang out. But Bob was always a fan from the beginning, and you know, probably 3-4 years before Def Jam even kicked off. So once he launched it, he was like, "Yo, you know I'm gonna have you on." And it was funny. I told Bill Bellamy on his podcast, put it like this: if adults in that comedy world were superheroes, I was Peter Parker. I was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to school the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had an algebra test.
Yeah.
So while all of them could be full-grown superheroes hanging out at night doing what adults do,
Right.
I had to do my
Sleep
thing.
in the next day and all that.
I had to go back to home because
You
I
had to
got
go
to
back
get
to-
up in the morning and go to school.
And to go back to Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Hop in that phone booth, change
Yeah.
back to who you were, man. So that's great, man.
At that young age, what was some of your material like? Because I know, like, for more seasoned comedians, they talk about life and
You know, I at that time I did what I knew, which was watching TV. So I would do a lot of impressions, a lot of mimicry. My act wasn't nearly as honed then as it is now. But of course that comes with experience and maturity. Like it even blew me away because every now and then I would watch old Def Jam clips of everybody's set, and you could just see how everybody was green. Like you could see how everybody wasn't there yet. Like I told Bill Bellamy when he did I think it was his booty call joke. Yeah. He must have said, "Yo, that's crazy, right?" Like 1,000 times. And it was that nervous energy of something. Yo, that's crazy, right? Like, and that's being young.
Yeah.
But then once you know, I look at it like being a jazz artist. You know, once you put in the years and you get the experience, now you're not so energetic. Now you're not so rushed. You're more poised. You just kind of sit back and let it come to you instead of chasing it. And it's a beautiful thing to watch that growth.
And it's funny you say that because I remember when Bernie Mac's first stand up at Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
It was like, I ain't scared of you.
Well,
You know, and it was just
no,
that
his
repeat-
his first appearance was cool, but it wasn't as strong
As
as
that
that second
that
one.
famous
That
one.
second one turned Bernie
Yeah.
Mac into Bernie
It
Mac.
did.
That first one compared to the second one was very tame.
Right.
But when he did that second one, it was a wrap.
But going back to your point of just him repeating that same line over and over and
Well,
over
no,
again.
that's a different that's a different aesthetic. You know what I mean? That wasn't nervous energy. That he knew what he was doing.
So you saying Bill Bellamy's moment was that
was that
was a
little bit
nervous
of that
energy.
beginning and trying to find yourself.
Yeah.
When Bernie Mac did I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. That was by design.
Yeah.
And the way he laid that out,
He did.
the timing, the repeating it, the circumstance that happened before it, which a
Yep.
lot of people don't even know. So that was on some whole other. You know, the funny thing was, what happened, what caused that was there was a comedian that went on before Bernie, and he got booed so mercilessly.
I remember
He
that.
got booed terrible.
Yeah.
So what prompted Bernie to do that was when he came out,
He just set the tone.
He wanted to
Yes.
let them know
Yep, I
immediately.
remember that.
Because what y'all did to the last dude, I ain't scared of you, mama.
Yeah.
So it was, and that's a certain amount of wisdom, the savvy, and to have the wherewithal and the presence of mind to analyze what just happened and go, how do I now make that work for me? So that's a testament to Bernie's greatness.
Going back to your moments there at Def Comedy Jam, and even just coming up through the other
I didn't even ask.
spots.
You can curse on here?
no.
Oh, okay.
We are still under the news
Because most
umbrella.
podcasts you
you
could,
can,
but
you
did y'all
can.
have a delay? Was y'all able to fix
No,
that?
we don't have
no.
a delay. It's okay.
Oh, my bad. I'm glad I know. I'm glad I know.
It's all good.
Hey man,
All right,
listen.
I thought it was a free for all.
We are live.
Oh, my
TV,
bad.
my guy.
My
so
bad.
It's
whatever what
it's
comes
all
out
good.
comes out.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Aries Spears show, then I advise you to go check him out. But you
no,
better, you better be ready.
If I would have known that though, I'd be very respectful.
Oh,
of
that's all.
Oh,
it's
no,
all.
it's-
what
you-
the
hey, listen,
parameters
man.
are.
It's
I
literally
just-
okay.
I just assume.
Listen,
just-
man,
we
we ain't
chilling.
scared of these. No, I ain't gonna go there. But, yeah.
As you would say.
But man, listen. What I was getting at was how much of that, going back to Bernie and his mindset at that time, when you go on, and perhaps is there ever an intimidating moment that someone performs better than you, or you may think that, you know, this, that, and the other. And do you still get nervous at this point?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing it 36 years. And you know, listen, to each his own. Like I've talked to guys who said, you know, they don't get nervous at all. And for some dudes that, you know, that's just how they roll. But then there's some dudes that say that, and then I see them perform and I go, you should be nervous. You know what I mean? I think a little bit of nervousness kind of keeps you, at least for me, sharp and on your toes. Because even though I'm 36 years in, I have a built-in audience, and people know and respect me. To me, in my mind, you're always still being judged. So it's like, of course you want acceptance. Of course you want to be liked. But I also know I'm being judged. So there is that initial nervousness because I'm, you know, but I look at it like if I was a basketball player, once I drop my first 3 or 4 jump shots, now I'm in a rhythm. And now I can calm down and get in the flow.
That's true, man. And greatness will allow you to keep shooting those jump shots because you know when you're off. So
absolutely.
Do you ever feel like you've told a bad joke and the crowd doesn't respond? And then how do you bounce back from that?
You just bounce back.
You just keep going.
You know, it's like, listen, Jordan didn't win every game. Ali didn't win every fight, but he was still a multiple-time champion. Jordan's still a 6-time champion. So there's no such thing as perfection. So you got to take that. As long as the scales of balance are in your favor more than not, you good.
That's true.
So what goes into you putting in your shows? You said you would watch back in the day, like Eddie Murphy. Now in this day and age, you said you have a built-in audience. Of course, the jokes that were hitting in the 90s and 2000s, little sensitive to these times now. So how do you prepare?
That don't sway me at all.
Oh, okay.
My comedy cocaine is uncut. You know what I mean? My product is what it is, Blue Magic. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name, and they know that more than they know the manager of General Mills. Yeah, I don't switch my, you know what I mean? And listen, in this day and age of political correctness and extra sensitivity and wokeness, I think there's a climate out there for people that are starving for what used to be. You know, they're starving for that uncut cocaine. You know what I mean? They tired of being told what they can and can't laugh at, what they should and shouldn't be offended by. So that's what I bring to you. You know, that raw.
So there's never a moment in your comedy and your jokes that you tell that you'd be like, man, let me back that off a little bit, or
I mean, listen,
cancel culture that we're in. You don't.
Listen, I recently showed a clip on my social media that went viral. I got a bunch of clips that go viral.
Yeah, you do.
Where you know I messed with a girl with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know what people don't understand is people with whatever their ailments are, their handicaps are, they want inclusion. They want to feel just as normal as the next person. So by not ridiculing them, by not making fun of them, you're almost highlighting that they're suffering from something. And nothing makes them feel more human than being made fun of like everybody else. You know, it's the people around them that are more sensitive to what they're going through than them. You know, we tend to do that. Like we have to feel, you know, we have to safeguard somebody's feelings that are not our own.
Right.
And it's just like they human, man. They gonna laugh, they gonna be with it. And if they not, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the thing too, man. You go to these comedy shows and you choose to sit up around the stage, buddy.
Hey, if you buy courtside seats, you're gonna be part of the game.
You may get a flavor.
I always try to sit in the back. I don't know.
But I think that's the funniest part. That's the fun part of your shows is when you get in and start talking about the audience members, man.
Listen, a lot of people like it, and you know, there's this thing now on social media I see a lot where comedians, and I think this is just sad. But there are comedians who are cutting down comedians for doing crowd work. Oh man, that's weak.
You're not
Why don't
prepared.
you write some material?
Yeah.
You know, listen, crowd work is part of the art form. Now, if you can't do it, then just say that. But don't act like that's not a skill set.
Right.
It's like if you look at Michael Jordan, what made him the GOAT was he had no weaknesses. His game was complete. It wasn't just the dunking. It was the shooting. It was the mid-range. It was the defense. It was he could rebound, pass. His basketball IQ was off the charts. So, and I always liken this to football. You can be an award-winning Hall of Fame quarterback simply by staying in the pocket, a la Tom Brady, a la Brett Favre.
Yeah.
But if you can Michael Vick it
Yeah.
and leave the pocket, a la your crowd work, and not just rely on your playbook, your material, then that makes you twice as deadly.
Right.
So why would you want to be twice as deadly? You know what I'm saying? So the same way I can't shame somebody for not doing it, don't shame somebody for doing it.
Right.
Just say you can't.
Right.
Because it's a powerful skill set if you know how to do it.
Correct.
You know, a lot of dudes in stand up, if somebody say something heckle, they like a deer in headlights. It throw them off their game. Like, what I'm supposed to say to that? But again, if you can Michael Vick it and you know how to fire quick,
Right.
Oh, you just come on, man.
You know when to stay in that
Come
pocket.
on,
and
man.
You know when to scramble.
Yeah.
And not to me, I like it to the fact that it brings it gets the crowd involved.
It's crowd engagement.
It's I get my money's worth, you know, and you work the room. There's a few comedy shows I've been to, of course, here and back home. I used to go to them all the time.
It's always funny when I hear people and they'll say in my comments to me, man, does he ever write a joke?
Yeah.
Everything is crowd work. And I go, and listen, I'm not trying to come off this way, but personally, I think most people are idiots. Because I don't believe that I have to explain this to you. It's like I'm your mother and I got to cut up your food for you to eat when you was a toddler so you don't choke. Like, you don't give away the key of cocaine for free. You give away a sample, a lot of crowd work. And when people see how good your product is, now they come to the show and pay for the key.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. Common sense, logic don't allow you to understand that. You would be a fool to think that I'm going to just go do a show and be on stage for an hour and 15 and ain't nothing but off the dome jokes.
Yeah,
I don't have nothing prepared.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing written. But why am I going to get that away for free?
Right.
You got to pay for that.
Right.
I'll give you the crowd work for free, but you got to pay for the key.
Well, and most of your sets are places like Improv, Funny Bone, these small, intimate, small stage
where you
settings
supposed to do that.
where you supposed
In
to
a
do
theater,
that.
you don't have that kind of intimacy.
Yeah.
And it's so dark, you can't really go, look at this person in the fifth row.
Yeah.
You know, and if everybody, and usually in a theater, nobody really gets up to go to the bathroom.
Right.
So you stuck in this one situation where it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
At a comedy club, this person might get up over here. This person might get up over there. If you sitting at the front and you get up, oh, you definitely glutton for punishment. You know what I mean? It's a whole different vibe.
I had the nerve one time to sit up front. Man, and that was the last time I sat up front.
You got flamed?
I got flamed by Lavelle Crawford.
Oh, that dude, hilarious.
Oh,
He sounds like he eats lit cigarettes.
Hey, he went ham on me, and you know, with Lavelle, this was the old Lavelle. So he literally went ham hocks on me, man.
That's hilarious.
But man, I was
That's
like,
funny.
wow. I mean, my left there, my stomach was in cramps.
I like Lavelle, but he built like Patrick from SpongeBob.
That's the old Lavelle. You seen him now.
Yeah, you look a little leaner. But you still got that melted ice cream look.
Hey man, we're gonna take a quick break right here, and then we're gonna come back, man. I want to hear about some of your all-time greatest moments in your career throughout your career. So guys, stay put. We'll be right back. We are back.
We are back.
We are back, and here in WFL Studios, I'm your host, Terrence Middlebrooks, alongside with Naisha Harper. Woo. And we got my man, Aries Spears, in the building, man, who is performing tonight, starting tonight, right? In Tampa. Starting tonight.
Yeah. 2 shows tonight, 2 Saturday.
Yep.
And we just added an extra, so 2 on Sunday.
Man, go out. If you're close by, if you're in Central Florida area, man, come check this brother out. He is hilarious. And I'm trying to stay on his good side so he don't roast me. And don't
You
roast
good,
Naisha.
man. You
Okay.
good.
All right. So if you're just now joining us, man, he just kind of gave us a background of just, you know, where he come from, how he ended up in the industry. So Man, let's just talk about some of your all-time greatest. Like, what are some just moments that you could sit around the table and tell your grandkids years from now of just highlights throughout your career, man?
You know, the first time I ever performed at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
This was coming off, and this is right after Def Jam exploded. The tour was me, Bernie Mac, Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, Reggie McFadden, and we, started off in Atlantic City, hit a couple of spots, but then we ended at the Garden, and surprise guest was Eddie Griffin came out, did a set, Busta Rhymes performed, and this is a testament to how you have to take the game seriously. So there was this bit that I was trying to create at the time. I didn't really have it fully flushed, where I did and it became famous, real famous later. But I did LL Cool J, DMX, Snoop Dogg, and who else? DMX, Snoop Dogg. Oh, and Jay-Z, all doing a verse. And I didn't write it down. I just went, I'm gonna wing it. Now, I'm not a rapper, but I can rap.
Okay.
But I went, I'm gonna wing it.
Okay.
So I just came out there and I tried to freestyle, and it was garbage. So much so that when I got done, as I'm walking off stage, you gotta walk past Kid Capri, who's on stage with the DJ equipment. And two dudes was leaning up near the booth. And as I walked by, I don't know if one of them said it on purpose so I could hear it, or they just said it in my time and caught it. But I walked past, and my man turned to his man. He said, yo, that was garbage. And the walk back from Madison Square Garden to my hotel in Times Square, I felt like Will Smith in I Am Legend. I was the only one on the streets.
Wow.
There was no cars, no other life, no animal. It was just me. It was the loneliest walk I'd ever taken.
Wow.
But then what I did was I went, all right, that was the L. Now you got to take it seriously.
Right.
So about the next week, smoked the L. I went hard in the paint with the writing.
With the lyrics.
I wrote it out, and then I did it at a radio station in San Francisco. It went viral, 15 million views.
Gosh.
And then cut to, I did Madison Square Garden again, but this time with Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
And destroyed it.
Wow.
So it was like, a good turnaround.
That was a good
Taught me a
turnaround
lesson.
right there. Yeah.
Don't half-ass it.
Hey, man, Michael Jordan missed the dunk several times in his career. That didn't change him. That
Yeah,
didn't
but
define
Michael
him.
always put in his work at the gym.
Yeah, and that's what you did.
So that my attitude was, I was Allen Iverson. Practice.
Yeah.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Right.
Practice.
Right.
But I need practice.
Yeah.
Practice is important.
And that's what you did. You hit the lab and you came out. Could you add that to your resume? Rapper, lyricist?
You know what, dude? I respect the game so
is.
much.
It does.
And again, I can rap, but I'm not a rapper in the sense that a real rapper that runs through their veins.
Yeah.
They eat,
Well,
sleep,
and then
and
too,
breathe that.
you was in Madison Square Garden. Had you been at a place in like Iowa or in Omaha, Nebraska, you probably could have gotten away with it. But you were in the midst of like legends.
Yeah, but garbage is garbage. You know what I mean?
Just call it what it is.
It is what it is. There's no getting around it. So, again, if I really concentrated and went, all right, I'm gonna try to be a rapper, I think I could do it.
Right.
But the level of talent, thought, focus that it would take to do that, to write 16 bars and a hook, and I just don't know that I have that in me.
Yeah.
That's why I keep it regulated to imitate rappers. You know what I mean? It's much easier for me to imitate a Jadakiss or a DMX than it is to do it.
Man, for you guys you hope everybody that's listening or some folks that are listening know about Aries Spears. And now you're probably the youngest in the room on this podcast. So I know you've done, probably early Aries Spears. Mm-hmm. But do you know like the original Aries Spears? Because your come up really was impressions, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's kind of how you cut the
that's
cloth,
how it
right?
started.
Cut the cloth by.
Yeah, it's funny too because I'm such a hip hop fan and deep rap fan, and I got a chance to do this podcast, which finally allowed me to meet one of my favorite rappers who I think is in top 5 best ever, which was Jadakiss.
Oh, was the podcast Rooted in Progress?
No.
Okay, all right.
It was Fat Joe and Jada.
Okay, all right.
So, and I said, Jada, man, let me fanboy out before we get into this. Top 5 dead or alive, you that dude. Yo, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of you too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, I told him that line I heard in the "So mad at the South for switch up your style, switch the South
Look, you
for."
sound-
That mean I gotta open your scalp more.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, that was a surreal moment for me. You
Now,
know?
okay, just so because our podcast is fairly new. We've been on the air about a year and a half. We do a lot of little local stuff as well as a few high profile people. But man, just give us a little bit of impression so we can say, hey man, we may play the voice
Right.
of, let's say, give me a name, give me somebody. So
Oh,
we may
man.
not be able to get that person in, but at least we have
Well,
somebody.
you definitely
we
wouldn't
can-
be able to get him in now because he died.
Okay.
But
who you got?
James Gandolfini, The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
My guys going on the Marty's for the good gravy, and the man I got. My kids love it. Menno and AJ. All my guys do them the Bush, Bushy, Silk, Christopher, even Johnny Sheck.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that, man? I know, like you said, watching.
You know, it's a God-given thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think a little bit of obviously might be hereditary because my mother's a jazz and blues singer. I always tell people when you do impressions, it's like having an ear for tone, inflection, cadence, rhythm, because everybody's voice is a note. So if you can capture the note and be on key, then that's the key to it. Like, you know, Shaq is real breathy and bassy.
I was like, I scored 28-10, I'm a dominate. If I score 28-10, it's barbecue chicken.
You know,
James Gandolfini is the ish. If you get the ish, you got it.
you know, Jada Gravely, you know?
Yeah.
So if you, just hit the notes.
And do you watch a lot of these people perform, or just study them? Study their
You know,
feet?
listen.
So it's more than just the voice; it's also their
the mannerisms and the cadence.
and all
Yeah,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
listen, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
And there are some dudes who do great impressions, but comedically they're not that strong, and vice versa. So there's some guys who could do great jokes, but their impressions are a little weak. So if you can marry the two, that to me is perfection. And I think that's what made Eddie Murphy so bananas, because he captured the essence of someone. You know, the facials, the mannerisms, the voice, and on top of that, his comedy was potent as hell. You know,
Yeah.
and that was my mentor, who I envisioned myself being growing up. So I had to do that. I had to be perfect in that sense. You know.
You ever had a chance to work with Eddie?
I haven't, but it's really wild. I met Eddie twice. Once upon a time ago in LA, there was a famous, it ain't there no more, it's like an eatery now, but there was a place called the Roxbury. And I mean, all the big stars would go there on weekends. And this is the first time I'm in LA. I had somebody take me over there. Eddie Murphy comes in with his bodyguard at the time, Fruity. And I was like, oh, I'm losing it. So then I walked up to him once he sat down. I said, "Excuse me, Brother Murphy, I just want to tell you." He was like, "You're the brother on Def County Jam, did all the impressions. You better stop eating. You're getting chunky." And I was completely blown away. So and then there was another time he came up to the Laugh Factory on Chocolate Sundays, which is the Black Night, and the guy who runs it, Pookie Whittington, me and Dean Edwards are sitting in the back hall. And he's like, "Yo, look, I can only put one of y'all up right now. Eddie's here. So who I'm putting up?" So we flipped a coin, and I won. And I'm telling you, Eddie was sitting in the balcony, and I froze. Like I got real nervous. And I would do a couple of jokes, look up. And you know, Eddie, when Eddie laughs, there's the movie laugh.
Yeah.
But then there's his real laugh. That's how he really laughs. So I would hear a couple of those, but I wasn't getting it how I wanted. And he had his Uncle Ray with him, and I've known Uncle Ray for a minute. So I called Uncle Ray, and I was like, "Yo, man, what did Eddie think?" And he was like, on the ride home, Eddie told him, he was like, "I think I make a lot of these young cats nervous because that dude is funnier than that, you know." And I could tell his game was off. So I think I got to him, and he, sure enough, he did.
Wow. So there's that moment you get nervous. You got nervous.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that's,
you had to
listen,
pull-
for a
you
comedian,
had to dive deep in the bag.
For a comedian, having Eddie watch you is like, if you're a young ball player, that's Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jordan's
Sports
watching
side,
you.
yeah.
So, you might your moves might not be as crisp if you're nervous. And I was nervous.
Wow. Yeah. Well, let's dive into the TV side of Aries Spears. You did a program last year on CNN called See It Loud.
Yeah.
You worked with some heavy hitters doing that. So
Yeah, that was just that was one of those panel shows where it was like they were talking about Black contributions
okay,
in
And
television.
TV, in
And then they
television,
would
yeah.
just cut to
Several
various
interviews.
celebrities
Yeah.
giving their
But
commentary.
even just being on the platform with that and sharing somewhat
Yeah.
of the stage with that. So
Yeah.
how do you feel? What was your take on that, man? Just as far as talking about where we are.
I mean, I was honored to be on it because anybody that's Black and in this game,
Yeah.
if you've done your due diligence,
Right.
you know the history.
Right.
You know we've gone from shows like Amos and Andy and Beulah and Mantan Moreland and Step and Fetch It and Moms Mabley to where we are today. So you know that progression
Right.
that they've all had to endure in terms of the racism and the BS and the politics. And they crawled so that we could run.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting history. You need to know that history. And then also if you know how powerful the Black dollar has been, how powerful the Black audience has been. Because, if it wasn't for all the Black shows that were on when Fox first came out, Fox might not have been what it is
Fox is
now.
now, yeah.
And unfortunately, what they like they've always done historically, they use us to get where they need to be and then throw us away once they've achieved that success.
Right.
So it's all of that, It's all of the pitfalls of what Hollywood is and what it's meant to Black people.
Well,
I was just gonna say, like, do you think there's enough creative space to this day? Because when I think of like going back, like In Living Color, and then you have
what you know about
sitcoms.
Living Color? That's
Come
old
on,
school.
I'm
yeah.
young, but I'm cultured. You throw me off my thoughts.
Oh, sorry, but yeah.
What was I saying?
You was at the space.
Yes. Do you think that we have enough creative space for us in this day and age?
Absolutely, but I think the biggest sabotage sometimes is each other. Because, listen, one of the most powerful studios in Hollywood is DreamWorks. David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and Steven Spielberg. Jeffrey Eisenberg, David Geffen, and Steven Spielberg. Okay, well, we know we have Tyler Perry, and that's a juggernaut, and that's a whole, what's the right word? But, that's a force of nature, Tyler Perry and his studios.
Yeah.
But where's the studio with our version of Geffen, Katzenberg, and Spielberg? That should have been happened. You look at some of the most powerful Black people in entertainment, the most influential, the wealthiest, Oprah Winfrey, $2 billion, Jay-Z worth billions, Michael Jordan worth billions. And even if you're not necessarily in the billionaires boy club, there's enough hundreds of millionaires where how come we have not formed our own studios and our own networks so that we don't have to keep coming hat in hand waiting for them to give us,
Yes.
waiting for them to acknowledge us. We protest about the fact that the Oscars, as a matter of fact, what was it, 2 years ago?
years
Maybe Oscars So White, where we were complaining about not getting the notoriety for what we do artistically. And I go, well, why are we still, where's our Oscars?
Yeah.
Create our own Oscars so that when we're denied the flowers that we deserve artistically and creatively, we can give it to ourselves.
Right.
But I think there's a mentality that has existed for so long within us, almost like on some slave, where it's like, again, hat in hand. We wait for that white man to feed us.
Right.
When we are well capable and financially in a position to help feed ourselves. And it's great we got Tyler Perry. But how long did it take before we got a Tyler Perry? And why is he the only one?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's based on the fact that we all have to stick together,
But we don't.
support each other.
But we don't.
and go out and lift each other up. And to your point, we don't. And that's the real question as to why. Why don't we?
I think
And
it's been
so-
ingrained in us for so long to have this Scrooge McDuck mentality. I got mine.
Yeah, hold
you
on
go
to
get
it.
yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it's like, and again, in Hollywood, the black dollar, in terms of movie buyers, moviegoers, is powerful. We some of the biggest consumers out there. But, we're too busy consuming what puts money in their pocket.
Right.
Instead of trying to consume and build to put money in our pocket.
Unfortunately, guys, real quick, that's deep. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, folks. We are back in the studio with
On a Friday.
the comedian, the OG, the unk of comedy, Mr. Aries Spears is here. Again, guys, if you are in the Tampa, surrounding Tampa, Central Florida area, man, he's performing tonight.
Tomorrow, Saturday, 2 Sunday, 2
Yes.
shows Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. I'm sure you can go to the website.
Yeah, Funny Bone.
FunnyBoneTampa.com.
FunnyBoneTampa.com. So, man, Aries, man, we're going to get into this game real quick. It's called Black Card Revolt.
Ooh.
Hand me some cards, nice.
Okay.
You ready to play this,
These
Aries?
are
Yeah.
a little mixed
You wanna
up
play this? You
now.
got-
Here,
huh?
I'm just going to give you what
Yeah,
you
give
gonna
us.
take.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna dive into this,
You
man.
go
and we
first
gonna
because
see.
mine are backwards.
You being from New York, you come up, through the grind of comedy. You've lasted all throughout these generations. I do have one quick question.
Yep.
Far as what advice would you give young comedians today, or someone who wants to walk this walk?
Or just to be an entertainer.
Be absolutely true to yourself and get out of your hometown because too many people stay local, and you can't be as great as you can be if you're not somewhat world renowned. And you can't win the game by sitting on the bench. So if your dream is to make it in Hollywood, move to Hollywood. And I know a lot of times fear cripples people. Well, what if I don't have enough money? What if I can't do this? And what if I can't do that? Where I'm gonna stay? How I'm gonna do this? Figure all that out when you get there.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to win the game, you got to get off the bench and actually get in the game. And if the rest will take care of itself. Because a lot of people's dreams don't get accomplished because it's either fear or they don't know how.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let either of those things cripple you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Take a chance.
Facts. You write that down? You said get out your hometown.
Get out your
Man,
hometown.
I can't.
Listen, there's some
I'ma give you
cats
applause on
locally
that.
that's great.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the experience of knowing what is it like performing
Yeah.
down south versus the East Coast
Yeah.
versus the West Coast versus a liberal city like San Francisco
Yeah.
versus a more conservative city like, North Carolina.
Right.
Sometimes it's like the ball bounces different off of certain rims.
Right.
So, learn that territory. That can only sharpen you.
It's funny, man, because my son plays basketball. He's a senior in high school, and in our neighborhood, we have the double rims.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it. Because, double rims are different. If you know anything about double rims on an outdoor basketball court, it vibrates different when the ball hits.
Yeah.
I said, bro, if you can shoot on a double rim, then you can shoot on any rim.
Right.
And they can't understand that. But to
Right.
your point, get outside your city.
But
man.
if you staying local and you're
Yeah.
only shooting on one single rim,
Yeah.
and when you go up against that double rim,
Yep.
you ain't gonna be ready for that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
if you do everything everywhere, you always prepared.
All right, so we're going to dive into this game real quick. What few minutes we have left with this legend here, Aries Spears. Nisha, you gave me some whack cards, so
Okay,
therefore I'm about to
ooh.
throw these out.
Jesus.
I'm like, I refuse to give these, to ask these questions to my guy. So,
What made him whack though?
man,
Yeah, what
it's,
made them
it's
whack?
like, first off, they're like all instructional cards. And then there's one over
told you
here
they weren't
that
sorted
said,
out.
let me see. Which artist, it's not whack, it's just easy. Which artist always stayed with Coogee down to the socks?
Oh,
Ah,
baby,
come on.
baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's repping the Yankee hat.
Yeah.
So from
So you wanted more challenging
I
ones?
want to give you something, man.
All
We're
right.
trying to
Take
see if
this
it's.
one.
We're gonna try just one. She gave me one.
That's
folks.
timely.
So we trying to see
relevant.
if you
Okay.
walk out of here with keeping your black card, or should we
All right.
revoke it till
This
the next
one's a
time you come
one,
in?
too, I think.
Why are you picking choose? Just give me a stack.
Well,
All right, here we go.
I looked at those actually. Go ahead.
What? Here we go. Let me do this one. All right. In the WB sitcom, what was the name of the hotel that Jamie Foxx worked in?
I don't know.
Boom.
I didn't really
I'll
watch
give-
that show.
I'll give you multiple choices. The Foxhole, A, Foxhole,
I know it ain't that.
B, King's Tower, C, Inglewood Inn, or D, Fox Manor. That's a pretty tough
It's
one.
one of the Fox ones, right?
No.
No. What's the other one?
All right, A, the Foxhole, B,
No.
King's Tower.
King's Tower.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, King's Tower, that's it. Let's go.
All right. And that's a guess, though.
That was a
But I
guess,
knew
but-
it wasn't Foxhole because Foxhole was actually the name of his radio
This
show.
is a good one. This is a good one, Nice.
Okay, let me go. This one's a majority rule, so there's no right or wrong answer here. According to Mama, she can't tell you nothing because A, you're hard-headed, B, you're just like your father, C, you think you're Kanye, or D, you think you know everything.
Dude,
Not the Kanye, but the other three.
Yeah,
It could
the
be
other
any
three
one of
could
those
be
other
anything.
three.
Yeah.
It could be any one of the other three.
Mine would say, you think you know everything.
You just like your father.
You just like
yeah.
your father.
That's
you hard head.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. So here we go. According to Tommy, what does GTD stand for, dog, on the sitcom Mark?
Oh God.
I will give you. You'll know it once I give you the
GTD.
GTD.
Don't fail me, Aries Spears. Come on, you got
I'm
it.
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna fail you. Now this is where just by this statement I'm gonna give alone, my black card might be taken away.
Yeah. Ooh.
But I stand by this. The Martin Show never did it for me like that. So I never really watched Martin.
Show's over. Thanks for joining us,
I
guys.
always thought, and listen, Martin is one of the greats, but I preferred Martin in movies.
Yeah.
I wasn't really like a fan of his stand-up. I thought in movies he was a scene stealer.
Yeah.
And his show, I thought a lot of times was over the top and a little clownish.
You know what? It's funny because I
But
can
that's
watch
me though.
Mark.
That's my opinion.
So, did you have a favorite sitcom like that? Like, was it My Wife and Kids or like anything? Comedian Damon Wayans. I said Williams.
I like The Rock with Charles Dutton.
Okay. Yeah.
I like The Rock. I like the older shows, The
Yeah.
Jeffersons.
Yeah.
227.
What you know?
Good Times.
The Cosby Show now.
The Cosby Show.
I watch the Cosby Show now in reference because I have teenage kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's like it hits home so much, just
Yeah.
about every episode,
Yeah.
you know? So I agree with you, but I was a Martin fan. So that answer is get the draws. GTD,
That's
get
right.
the draws. So-
It's one of those things where I heard get the draws,
get-
dog.
that's what I said.
That draw when he would say it,
GTD,
but I
dog.
couldn't write.
Yeah, so guys, unfortunately, we are out of time. Aries, we're gonna let you walk out of here with your black card, bro.
Oh, listen, my
revoked.
black card
We
is gonna always be
we're
valid.
gonna let you walk. Just cause you come in here
And
with
it's
your
not declined.
with
As
your
long
hat-
as I don't have tap shoes on and I'm doing jazz hands, my black card always
you come in
valid.
here with the hat tilted to the side, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you have that, bro. We're gonna let you keep it. So, man, guys, man, thank you so much, brother. Again,
appreciate it.
tell everyone how they can follow you and your hours. And time
Yeah, man. I'm real easy. Everything, my Instagram, my Facebook is Aries Spears. My podcast is called Spears and Steinberg, available on all streaming platforms. Also, the YouTube channel is Spearsberg Pod. Hit like and subscribe. And if you want the links to the podcast, slide up in my DMs on Instagram. I'll give you the links. I'll chop it up with you. Start from episode 1. I know we like 700 episodes in, but you gotta binge it because you get to follow the evolution of the show, the characters, the callbacks, the jokes. Otherwise, you might feel out of place. Look at it like this. It's like masturbation and potato chips. Once you start, you can't stop. Start from the beginning, man.
masturbation and potato chips. my
Yeah,
guy?
man. Once you start, you gotta finish.
Not even a cigarette afterwards, but a bag of chips.
Man, listen.
Doritos, Funyuns.
Come
what
on,
you
man.
talking about? Anyway, we gotta go get it, that guys. We gotta get out of here. Aries got a show to do tonight, man. I can keep him here all day. I know you don't want to see our ugly mugs because he's tired. He just flew in across the country, man. So shout out to you, my guy. Proud of you. It's been an honor to share this space in this room with you.
My
man.
pleasure, my
Absolutely,
pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you for joining us.
yeah, 100%. So Naisha, wow,
Yes.
what a moment. So
We got to do more episodes on Fridays.
this made my Friday.
This was
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. So
I was like,
absolutely. So
we're not at the weekend yet, but this started off the day right.
you did, man. So all right, tell folks how we can watch us and follow us and subscribe us
All
and like
right.
us and continue
You
to
heard
hate on
Aries
our
Spears, all the
live.
platforms you
Yes.
can find him on. You can find us. We ain't
Absolutely.
700 episodes in, more like almost 60, but Apple Podcasts,
We're on our way.
Spotify, YouTube, and of course you can watch this episode on the WFLA website and the WFLA app, or the WFLA app on your streaming TV.
Yep.
All right, I think that's gonna do it for us today.
That being said, happy weekend and stay rooted, folks.
Stay rooted.